Okay, well, we're now going to go into the review, or I guess in-depth review for Carmen Sandiego. Have y'all finished it?
Yes.
Yeah. Yep.
Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego?
They say that a lot in the show.
Oh my God, yes.
But
Okay.
okay, there will be spoilers. So if you have not watched Carmen Sandiego yet, go to Netflix, watch the show, and then come back and listen to our thoughts. All right, so starting with Mina, what did you think?
I guess I should preface this with the fact that I played the games when I was younger, growing up. I watched the show, like, not during when it was on TV, but I watched a lot of, like, Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego, like, the game show.
Mhm.
And then I also watched the Rita Moreno show. I actually really liked Carmen Sandiego as a kid. Um, I don't know if I had really, really high expectations going into this, or if the fact that I had watched all this other Carmen Sandiego stuff, I already had an idea in my head of what it should be, but I was a little let down the fact that she is a hero, but I do get it. It's a kid show. Like, you want her to be kind of like a hero and heroic. Like, typically in the story, Carmen starts out working for the good guys and then eventually starts vile and becomes, this master gentlewomanly thief.
Yeah, that's how it was in the old cartoon, right?
Right. This time it's different. I love how we had like the origin and like the backstory of her growing up on Vile Island and how she came to realize what they did and what they stood for. And I get it. It's a kids show and it's modeling, you know, good behavior and all this kind, or not good behavior, but good attributes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I kind of wish there was. They've done a cool job of like. I love when they show like the country she's going to. I love the layout when they do like the map and they start talking about certain things about the country. I do wish it had a little bit more information because like some episodes they seem to provide a lot, and then some of them like the little infographic of the country is like 2 seconds long, and they're like, rice. This country has rice. Moving on.
Indonesia.
So I actually really enjoyed this show. I thought it was cool. There was parts that I was that dragged a little bit for me just because I am a lot older than probably the age range for this show is supposed to be, like the target demographic. Inspector Trudeau, I think. No, what was his name? Inspector.
Was it Domino or so? It was something like that. It was something like that.
Oh man, sometimes he killed me. Like, he's so stupid.
He was a jerk to his partner the whole time.
The whole time he's just
and they kept
so
sinking cars.
And after a while, at first I was annoyed by him, but then after a while he kind of grew on me, and I was just like, oh, he's gonna do something stupid again. And I loved his assistant, but I was also annoyed. Like, I want her to do what she wants to do, like be badass, and because she's always right. He just doesn't listen to her.
But I guess he's more of like in the show they portray that he's more of a doer and she's more of the analytical type person.
Exactly, yeah.
I did like that she did get angry towards the end of the show. She did get angry with him.
Yep, I like that. She was
finally
having a backbone.
Geez.
I loved the other Vile members. I thought they were really funny and kind of like I guess they were creative. Some of them like Countess Cleo, and I did not expect that twist at the end though.
Oh, we're gonna talk about the twist a little bit later. But yeah, I didn't see that one coming.
Didn't see it coming. What about you, Nick?
I didn't like it.
Okay.
I know, that's on brand for me. I think a lot of what Mina said was true. I just don't hold it in the same regard. I think I also played the games as a kid, dabbled in the show, never really got into it. To me, it's always been kind of an imitation of Robin Hood and not a very good one. And I think this show just dove right into that trope. I think they tried to make her Robin Hood, and then they tried to like explain why she was Robin Hood, and they failed miserably, in my opinion. I didn't think the backstory stuff mattered. I thought they just kind of strung breadcrumbs along and never really wrapped up any of the plots.
Oh, that's for season 2.
Yep.
The twist at the end, I think, was cool, and it was one of the only plot lines they built to the entire show. But they did that at the sake of ignoring everything else they had done, and so I didn't necessarily agree with that. I think Mina brought up a good point talking about how they would tell you a little bit about a country, but it was very not uniform. Every week it was maybe 3 things one week, and then or one episode, and then 1 thing the next episode, and then like 4 things the next episode. It was like, just if you're gonna do that, give me the same number of facts about each country.
Mm-hmm.
And make that a little more uniform. The other Vile members were all right, I thought. To me, the show lacked plot. The plot was shaky at times. It was a lot of bending to fit the plot, and at the end of it, I'm just sitting here like, well, why should I watch season 2? What did this show provide me? And Mina brought up another good point. I'm not the target audience.
We're not the target audience.
It's to do what the games did. It's to educate children and teach people things and be fun and creative. But I think there's better things on Netflix than Carmen Sandiego right now.
I would definitely say it's not the best thing I've ever watched or anything like that, but I do like that there are like the little informational things, like the scenery in each country, like the representation of scenery and culture in each country that she visits is cool. And I think it's nice for younger children to watch that. Like, I think it'll make an impact. I love Gina Rodriguez. I think she's amazing. I love her as Carmen.
And it could be my memory failing me, but the things they talked about, like the facts of each country, did they come up at all during the episodes?
Yeah, they incorporated them in the episodes. Okay.
They did.
Because that didn't stand out to me. So
they did, like the whole rice thing, like they were targeting.
Puppet show.
Yeah, that was the only one I thought of. Okay.
Australia and the rock and stuff like that.
Yeah, okay. Like the indigenous population in Australia.
That's definitely on me then, that I just missed that. But and then like her weird sidekicks.
I had a problem with because I had a problem with Ivy and Zach. I had a problem with their Boston accent. Sometimes it didn't sound like a Boston accent. Sometimes it sounded Australian, and then sometimes it sounded like another accent. So I was really confused. Did the actors not? Was it like an acting issue? Like,
now you're not talking about the episode when he had to be a gentleman, right?
No, I just mean in general. Like sometimes they'd be talking to her, and I'd be like, okay, yes, definitely portraying a Boston accent. And then sometimes they would say something else, and I'm like, no, like what? I don't know if it's more on the voice actors not portraying it well enough or what, but like it just killed me half the time.
Mm-hmm. Now I have a list of my likes and dislikes for this show that I will run through quickly.
All right, go.
Love the art direction. Art direction was fantastic in my opinion. It was one of the most interesting visual cartoon shows I've seen to date. It reminded me of a modern day, like it reminded me of my childhood of a PBS show. That's what it reminded me of, with like Cyber Chase and all of them.
Oh my gosh,
that's what this reminded me of.
So the garbage shows that you watched when the other stuff wouldn't come
garbage shows, those shows were amazing. Come Home, watch Arthur. Cyber Chase actually got me interested in math, even though I still suck at it.
But like those shows weren't comparing with the stuff not Netflix, I'm sorry, Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network.
Oh, of course not. But PBS focused more on education, and I felt like this show fell in line with a PBS show of educating. It felt like a mix between like a PBS show and like a Kim Possible type show. That's what it felt like to me.
Yeah,
I could agree with you.
I definitely got that vibe.
Yeah, I was like, it's not trying to feel that oh my god, this is the most amazing like Avatar type show. No, I was like, this is like a PBS kid learning experience, because I was like, I'm learning things. Some islands are home to the Komodo dragon and all the other stuff. I was like, I'm actually learning. This is awesome. Reminds me of my childhood. I liked Carmen as a character. I really did like her. Side characters are fun, but didn't have much character development.
I agree.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, player.
I had a problem with him too.
We'll go back to it. You continue, and then we'll go back to player.
Okay. I did like the interaction between all the members of Vile, and when they interacted with Carmen, I did like their interactions. I thought the action scenes were done well. It didn't look too cheap, in my opinion. They animated them well. And then I did like the twist at the end. Now, my dislikes, like I said, Zach, Ivy, and Player had no character development, in my opinion, at all. They were just there. Even though I did as Player, I did like Finn Wolfhard as Player, but they had no development at all. And I was like, why is Player just stuck in this room the whole time? Does he not have a life outside this? I don't know.
Because they were trying to Kim Possible it.
I know, but it's just me. Why does she care so much about people's lives? I didn't understand why she cared if someone got killed at the beginning, but I don't know. Maybe that's just a me issue, but I didn't see her developing like feelings for people, I guess. And I was like, she grew up on an island of villains, so wouldn't she kind of be desensitized to something like that? But I don't know. I feel like they didn't, in my opinion, build to that she cared about life like that. Some of the episodes, things that happened in the episode seem to be very convenient just to allow Carmen and the gang to beat Vile and get away. Just like the whole the one that stands out to me the most that I remember is the Australia one with the rocket ship. I was like, so that why is there one person in this whole facility?
Right.
You know, I mean, I understand the launch got shut down or whatever, but you're telling me this one person, this one doctor is the only person here. Okay, sure, whatever. Show. And then Vile always sends the same people that fail against Carmen. They had one episode when they sent somebody that actually challenged Carmen in stealing something. I mean, even though she lost at the end, but she was the most effective, and they sent her once. And that's my whole list. So, go ahead.
I liked that, like, at least we had that enough of those, like, 2 origin backstory episodes so, like, we knew some of the Vile operatives that were coming after her and being her, like, opponents, I guess.
True. Now, the only thing I had a problem with the backstory thing, why was she telling her whole backstory to him? Because he knew pretty much part of the backstory, you know?
Right, like, she called him her best friend and her big brother. Like, you could tell how close they were for an entire year that he was there. Like, you would think he would know most of this by now.
Yeah, but I guess not. I think it would have been more effective if she was talking to, like, the Agent Argent or the other what was the name, Domino, something like that, the other one of them, or Demeraux, or so, or like a bystander or somebody. I don't understand why she told him this whole to introduce the whole backstory of Carmen Sandiego, but man, it was, I guess it was fine.
Also, like, they chose him for that, and then they chose him as like one of the main motivators when she was younger and all that, and then they just wipe him and throw him in Australia. Like, I feel like they did not use, like, they built this character up and, like, you know, Crackle, and he had the electric little rod or whatever.
Yeah.
And then they just kind of threw him off on the side.
Well, they had to do the whole thing where, oh, she couldn't, I guess, be friends with him, even though I felt like a did y'all feel a romantic thing happening between?
It was definitely romantic. That was definitely asking her on a date.
Yeah, but the whole time she was like, he's like a brother to me. I was like, I don't know if he thinks that, but
right, yeah, because he was like, he was like, oh, I would never forget your face after, and all this other stuff, and like it was clearly meant as a date, and then she just was like randomly like, he's like a brother, and I was like, I'm getting mixed signals. I need you guys to decide on what. And I don't know if they're just going to use him in season 2 and like bring him back, but I thought that was a weird way to just throw a character to the side. Unless they're planning on using him later to help her or something.
Yeah, but that's what I wanted to happen. That he like you know, muscle memory. Like he's in a dangerous situation, and his muscles or like subconscious remembers that he has all these amazing moves that he can do as a spy. You know, I thought that's what they were going to do, but they didn't go that way. They went the route where, I can't have a happy social life because I'm, working in the shadows, and then he will get hurt because, I'm working against the enemy. So I don't want to bring him into this world. I was like, oh, okay, sure.
I mean, I'm sure he'll pop back up season 2, and I'm sure they'll bring him in for something.
I would hope so. I do like his character.
I do too. I find him interesting and compelling. My problem with Zack and Ivy was their accent. Like, they're just kind of dumb, but like, I mean, they're just like useless sidekicks with no real story to them. Like,
Yeah, they're the comedic relief.
yeah, and then like they tried to tell us like the whole thing where Player's part of like the white hat hackers or whatever.
Yeah, I understand that, but I'm like, Player's a kid, so does he get homeschooled, or maybe I'm getting too much of the logistics? But I
Yeah,
was like, what is he? Does he ever leave his room? I don't know.
and then I like Carmen. I don't understand her motive sometimes. Like, why is she so good? Like,
Oh well, the reason I think that I came up with as why she's so good because she spent her whole life on an island full of criminals, so she knows how to, was basically trained as a child to be the best type like criminal and get away with things because criminals are very smart and shifty and stuff. So she had to be even better than them pretty much to get away
yeah,
with some of those pranks.
and that's cool, and I get that, but like my thing is, I don't understand why she chose to be this like good person who donates everything to charities and does all
that
this
would have
stuff.
been a great thing for them to explain to us in the background episodes about her, but they didn't.
See, and you bring up that point, and that was the same thing I had an issue with. I didn't understand in her backstory why she. I guess that plays in the same thing. I think that why she care about human beings so much like that. I don't know. Maybe
I
because she
mean,
got so much love from Coach. I guess I don't
I
know.
was gonna say Coach showed her a lot of affection and was kind to
And
her.
then tries to kill her in the finale.
Oh my God, can we talk
That
about that?
oh my god, yes. Oh,
How Coach is built like a brick.
But like that goes into my issue with the show. It doesn't add up. Like the reveal is cool, the twist is awesome, it's built too well, but the sudden about face they make Coach do just doesn't make sense.
it kind of does though, like because like slowly, if you notice, like whenever they would do like their little panel talks to figure out like what they were gonna do next in each episode, she was slowly like less of oh, poor black sheep, we have to go rescue her. She kind of hardened up a bit. So like whenever they were like, you were the most soft with her, and she was like, not anymore. Like she's no longer.
Traitor.
Right,
There
but
was like a resolution.
to go from all of that nurturing and to your guys' point being the person who makes her like have feelings about people and stuff, and not just be this endless black soul of darkness raised by evil people, to wanting to kill her.
Well, that's the thing. I don't think it was that she like brought good into Carmen. I think like she just showed affection to Carmen, but I think it was to a. It was almost like if we go through Tangled, like Mother Gothel showed affection.
Spoilers for Tangled.
If you haven't
Jeez.
seen it already, shame on you, in my opinion.
It's 10 years later. Mother Gothel showed affection to Rapunzel. Rapunzel was a good person. Mother Gothel wasn't. Like, I think it's kind of the same type of parallel where, like, she cared about her, but Mother Gothel would have killed Rapunzel if she needed to for an endgame. Like,
Right,
it wasn't...
I mean, that's a whole other issue we can get into, is the fact that the psychology of Tangled doesn't make sense. Because the abuse that Rapunzel endures, and then she just turns out to be this amazing human, is psychologically an abnormality.
Well, this is a Disney movie, so.
Yeah. But back to the Carmen thing. Like, I think it's because she saw Carmen as, like, not an object to love, but, like...
I guess a piece of goodness in her life, I guess, out of all the evil,
And
she was an innocent child.
But she's no longer a child. And she's
Yeah.
just... And I think it's the break of she's no longer innocent. She's no longer a child. And, like, it's not like she killed her... She was going to kill... I mean, she was going to kill her, like, violently or with any... Like, I mean, it was violent.
A bear hug.
But it was like a bear hug. Like, it makes sense for her character. Like,
And she did give her a chance. I'm going to put in there that
Right.
she did give her a chance. She was like, you come back home with us and none of this has to happen. Just come back home. And Carmen was like, I would never come back with you. And she's like, all right, well, you're dead.
Yeah. And she was just going to bear hug her to death. And I was like, oh, God. The twist, though, for it being the sensei, whose name I can't remember his name right now.
Shadow Sun?
Shadow Sun. Oh, my God. I didn't see it coming at all. When he volunteered to go, I was like, oh, he wants his revenge. And, like, they did things throughout the season to, like, plant little things. And when they revealed he was the one that let her escape by cutting the helicopter stuff.
Mm-hmm. I didn't see that coming because I thought she cut it. And I was like, oh, Carmen doesn't miss a beat. She knows how to get away. But he cut
Exactly.
it. I was like, oh. And then he was like, I was coming to join you. I was like, interesting. That's
I
how
do
would
want to
the
know
go ahead.
how he found her and why he brought her. Like, I want more of this.
I guess that's season 2.
Yeah, for sure.
For the exposition of season 2, where she sits in a train car with tigers and explains her life.
I know, right?
I love that he finally admitted that there was no money,
No dollar.
no dollar in the
That
sleeve.
haunted her.
Quite literally.
Literally. That haunted her.
But also, I wonder where he's going to end up, because clearly Coach was suspicious when she saw that he wasn't there. Like, you could tell that there was something off. So he's not like he can go back.
Are they gonna play like spy games with each other, trying to figure out who's the mole or whatever in Vile? That would be interesting.
Also, Chief is now against Carmen Sandiego because she thinks
Oh yeah.
she was the one that tricked. Oh god, he's such an idiot.
Well, I mean,
it's I don't know. I like it. I think it was cute. I love the animation. I'm excited for this live action movie that they're gonna do with it.
I wonder how they're gonna translate it to live action.
Yeah, I want more development in the characters. Definitely, even in like the side characters. I want more out of. Hell, even the villains that Vile sends. I need more out of like Tigress and not Time Bomb?
Mind Bomb.
Mind Bomb, yeah.
Mind Bomb, like, which I love. I love him. He's a snitch, but I love him. And the French
he's a snitch
one,
and a good thief.
Yeah, a snitch.
He's just not a good fighter.
No.
And I do like how each of them have their like own different abilities, and they're not all just like amazing spies at everything. Some can fight, some can't. Some are very good at climbing. Other ones are good at digging or whatever, and sneaking and hooking up electronics and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I did like that. And then the cleaners. So is the cleaners like the best spies on the island, pretty much? Because it seems like the cleaners get what when they the Vile leaders tell the cleaners to do something, the cleaners get it done.
True. I could deal with more of that, and I just want. I need more out of Carmen. I need to know why she's so hell bent on going against what she was raised as.
I don't know. I guess maybe they just never showed her. I mean, I guess they never really showed her that side of Vile, technically.
True, that was hidden until you graduate.
Yeah. I don't know. I would just think, I mean, I guess they hid it very well if she never noticed that they were. Well, she wouldn't even technically know that they were doing evil things, even if she saw it, because she would think that was just normal.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's a kid show, so.
Yeah, but you know what? Overall, as a kid show, I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch season 2, so I liked it.
Need to learn some more facts about different countries.
And I like that she's from Argentina and that she's, I don't know. I think it's a good role model for, yeah. No, I mean, maybe not good role model, but it's a good representation for younger girls that are Latino or anything like that to see themselves represented on that scale.
Mm-hmm. Now, do you want to see like more shows like this? Like I'm gonna say PBS-esque type shows where you learning inside the shows revived onto Netflix?
I don't know if I would necessarily want more of it.
Oh, well, they did reboot Magic School Bus. I did watch a few episodes, but I don't think I really cared for it that much.
I didn't either. But I've rewatched like original episodes of Magic School Bus and actually liked rewatching those. So I don't know.
The issue with the reboot of Magic School Bus was they tried to take Miss Frizzle out of it.
Well, she went on her own adventure.
Right. But the only reason to watch Magic School Bus was Miss Frizzle.
I liked the students.
Like, the students were cool, but it was all based around their dynamic with the Frizz.
I loved Ralphie.
And I just didn't think the animation style was very inspiring. It looked like every other 3D animated show out there.
Exactly.
Carmen Sandiego has a very unique art style. And I'm like, if you're trying to survive in this type of landscape, if you don't have a good story and you're just like a learning type show, I think you need a good art style to go along with it to keep people watching, you know?
Yeah, and Carmen Sandiego is so pretty. Like, it's so nice to watch. Like, it's just pretty the way the coloring in the show, everything is just, I really like it visually. I also really liked the theme song. It got stuck in my head a couple times.
It's going to be interesting to see if they go ahead with another season.
They already
Oh yeah, they already greenlit another season and the movie. So,
but they greenlit another season that's not really another season
true,
because
they ordered 20 episodes.
20 episodes.
Oh, okay. Well, they
gave us 9.
Okay, so they're doing they're doing what they did with like Voltron. They would order like I guess 20 episodes, and then they'll split those 20 episodes in half and call it season 1 and season 2. They did the same thing with Voltron towards the end. So, I think they're going to do that with all animated shows probably now.
So I'm just interested to see how that works, and if we end up getting more after this 20 episode run.
Yeah, but I do agree with you, Mina. I do want to see more character development for everyone around Carmen. Carmen has character development. Everybody else around Carmen does not.
Yeah.
Villains and good guys. Nobody has.
Well, I mean, technically, I guess you could argue that Coach has some weak character development.
Oh,
and
yeah, I guess
Shadow Sun has some plot armor character development.
Yeah, I guess those two. Those are the two that's the most, I guess, closely connected with Carmen, I guess. But
Countess Cleo makes me laugh. I kind of like her.
Yeah, but we didn't really get anything from her at all this season. Besides, like, what, that one episode?
Oh, where she had the dinner party?
Yeah.
I love the scientist. I can't think of her name, but Dr. something.
Mm-hmm.
I'm interested to see if they do more character development, or even if they just do more of the, like, exploring, like, the countries or the places that she's at. Like, if they add more information, I think that would be interesting, too.
Now, my favorite character on Vile, the main leaders of Vile, is Coach. I'm going to say. I like her. She had to be from Texas.
Oh my god, I laughed so hard when we realized she was from Texas. I was like, oh, of course.
What did he say? Do you know the what did he say? The Constitution, the American Constitution, or something like that?
Yeah.
And she was like, "Darn right, I'm Texas proud." I was like, "Oh wow, she has to be from Texas too."
I just thought she was from like the general South, but then as soon as she said that, I was like, makes sense. Definitely met people like her. Yep.
Yeah. I just found it very interesting how she had like the strength of 10 men or a freaking gorilla. And to be completely honest, Carmen was wrecking everybody this whole show until she fought Coach.
Oh yeah, she wrecked her. Like, Carmen was gonna die.
Carmen was legitimately going to die. And I was like, you know what? That's a boss fight. That is what it should be. These are the leaders of Vile. They shouldn't be no freaking pushovers, because she's literally the best person in her whole class. And she won against that other girl out of luck. I guess luck and skill.
Yeah.
I guess.
Definitely. But I really like the fact that they did make it seem like Carmen was struggling. She wasn't doing well. Like,
oh no, she was hurt.
Which was, because like sometimes they do these like big fights and then the hero wins out super easily, and it doesn't
like barely
make
get
sense.
Scratched.
Yeah, and I'm like, well, then what was the point? Like, the power levels don't match up.
Mm-hmm.
I did notice that, and I really appreciated the fact that she looked rough.
Yeah, she looked like she probably broke a few ribs.
Yeah, like Shadow-san had to like carry her and was like, yeah, you don't look good.
Yeah. I think another thing that it's more of a nitpick instead of an issue is that, like, you can see that they were trying not to, be bloody or say certain words, especially when the other girl was getting hired to do the job of taking out Carmen. He was like, "Bring me Carmen's hat." I was like, that's so cheesy.
Yep.
Oh, that's very cheesy. I was like, God. There's no blood in the show. There's nothing. But I mean, I understand why. But I feel like, in my opinion, it would be a little bit better if they went the more like last season of Samurai Jack with the artistic blood and stuff like that. But it's kid show. I don't know if they want to do that.
And then it killed me every single time they said, "Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego?"
They said it so many times.
Too much. I think it was done a little too much.
They started saying it towards the end. I was like, I get it, guys. I get it. I'm not dumb. I don't think even a 5-year-old is dumb. You don't have to keep saying it. They know what they're watching.
Yeah, but at this point, I'm just nitpicking. But I really did enjoy it. It was cute. Learned a few things. Enjoyed my time.
Like I said, the action didn't look cheap. It actually looked well done and well animated. Nothing was like glaring mistakes or anything. Looked
Mm-hmm.
good. Looked good all around, in my opinion. I think y'all have any other thoughts
No,
on where in the world is Carmen Sandiego?
No, that's it.
that's about it. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I have a question. Do y'all want to see her go more villain route next season? I mean,
I
because in
would.
this season she was more of a anti-hero type thing. I mean, like you said, okay, I'm coming from a perspective. I should have said this at the beginning that I have not played the games. I don't think I even watched the show when it came out, and I like this show, but I do understand researching that she was basically a straight up villain in the other one, and then allowed the authorities to find clues to get the items from her. You know?
Right. She was like a villain with a very high ethics code, and she didn't
Yeah.
harm people or anything like that. I do wish it would next season would kind of take more of like a not darker tone, but like falling back on more of the not villainous, but less noble
Yeah.
approach. But at the same
You
time,
you wanted to, because now Acme knows, well, thinks that she is straight up a villain.
right.
So how is that gonna play?
Which I want to see how that works out and everything. But at the same time, I know that they're not going to make her like like an anti, like more like a villain or anything like that to an extreme, because you kids probably don't want that. They want to root for like
Yeah.
the good guy, and if it's an educational thing, like you don't want them to be rooting for the villain.
I mean, back in the day, we was rooting for the villain, I guess. Technically, if you watch the old Carmen.
Yeah, but also like when we were mentioning it, the similarities to Kim Possible, I genuinely half the time rooted for Dr. Draken and Shigo. I wanted him to win. I
Yeah,
was so frustrated for him. I was
because he
like,
failed so many times.
and Shigo was so competent, but she was stuck working for him. So I was always frustrated. Like I wanted her to win. Sometimes I didn't want Kim to win, which I don't think
Yeah.
was the intent of the show. We'll see how it plays out. I think you can have sympathy for the villains, and I like how like they're not all like they all have some little good thing about them. It's not just like we're bad villains, like we're just bad people. There's
Yeah.
little positives in each of them, which is like people. People are great.
What good thing does Paper Star have?
I know. I think she's just psychotic. She's
Yeah,
straight up.
there's something wrong with her. Like she was creeping me out when
She.
she was singing and skipping.
I was getting. I was getting Harley Quinn vibes from her.
Harley Quinn, and then like, have you guys ever ridden Tower of Terror at Disney?
Yeah.
You know the scene where there's like a little girl skipping in the rain, and it's like green water, and she's singing.
Yes, you're bringing up all the horrors of my childhood.
That's honestly like as soon as she came out of the screen, like humming slash singing, skipping, I was like, oh god, what's going on? Where's this show going?
Oh, that's great. Oh, I just thought of something. Thinking of the Kim Possible comparison, do you think Player is going to get to come out of his room like Wade did?
Mm.
No, it took Wade like way too many seasons to be able to bust through that wall.
Yeah, I mean, he came out in like season what, 4 or 5, something like that, or something.
Something like that, I'm sure.
So you don't think Player's ever going to come out the room and join her for one mission?
No.
I don't think it's Player's strong suit. Like he's a hacker and he tracks things. Like that's where he needs to be.
But what happens if that the doctor tracks him? She did hack the Acme card.
Well, then maybe he needs to move locations.
I'll be saying, where in the world is Player?
I do like that they use Player
If I
because like
would say.
it's like the old thing where like player you were the player,
Yeah.
the one reading all the stuff and helping Carmen. So it's kind of cool that they include Player like that.
Now I did in the old show, Player was a normal human kid. In this one, he's an animated kid. So do you like that change?
Yeah, I think it would have been really weird and disorienting if it was if he was like a real person. I think it would have completely thrown me out of it.
Yeah.
Same.
Me too. I'm like, so none of this is real in this universe? Okay, sure. Yeah, it would have threw me off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's it. I can't think of anything else about Carmen Sandiego. Unless anybody else can think of anything else.
Nope, that's it.
Thanks everyone for listening to Swimming in the Stream. And if you want to get in contact with us or leave us feedback, you can reach us on Twitter at S.I.T.S podcast and Gmail swimminginthe_stream@gmail.com. Follow us on SoundCloud to stay up to date with the latest episodes. Credit goes to Noctum from Free Music Archive for the music you are listening to right now.